Hello everyone, it is I, the Beast. It is once again time for Storytime with the Beast. And my guest today is Brian the dog. How you doing? So, what's today's story we're going to be reading? Well, we're going to read an old classic tale, and by the way, happy 1st of May, everyone. Hansel and Gretel. Ooh, I love a good story that has anything to do with sweets and candy. You ain't kidding. Candy's good every now and then, but too much of it can lead to cavities and really make your teeth not feel so good. You know? Yeah, I know what you mean by. So, shall we begin the tale of Hansel and Gretel? Yes, we shall. So let us open the book. In a humble cottage in the forest, there lived a poor wood chopper with his wife and 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. There was little enough to eat at the best of times, but at last came the day when there was not a scrap of food to share among them. That night, after the children had gone to bed, the woodchopper said, "What will become of us? How shall we live without food?" Then his wife, who had a hard heart, replied, "Tomorrow we will take the children into the deepest woods and leave them. At least we will have 2 mouths less to feed." So if you ask me, the wife sounds pretty vicious to her poor husband. Yeah, apparently. Poor Hansel and Gretel. What are they gonna do? Now the children, who had not yet gone to sleep, they were hungry, heard the wife replied. Gretel fell weeping and said, "Dear Hansel, what will become of us in the deep woods?" Hansel tried to comfort her sister. "Fear not," he said to her, "I have a plan so that we will find our way back home after they leave us." Early the next morning the children were awakened. "Come," said the mother, "we must all go into the woods to find food." Since there was no breakfast to eat, they were soon on their way. But Hansel had a crust of old stale bread, which he found in a corner, and breaking it off of tiny pieces, he dropped the crumbs along the path so that he might find their way home again. When they had reached the deepest part of the forest, the mother bade the children lie down to rest. Then, while Hansel and Gretel nodded in the warm sunlight, she and her husband made their way back to the cottage. What a cruel trick. That's all I can say. You said it. The tired, hungry children were soon asleep, and when night came their guardian angels hovered over them to see that no one should harm them. In the morning when they awoke, Hansel went to look for the trail of breadcrumbs, but alas, the forest birds had eaten every one. Hansel and Gretel wandered this way and that through the woods looking for berries to eat. Ooh, look at that house of candy. It looks so yummy. Very tasty. Suddenly, what should they see in a clearing but a tiny house made of gingerbread and cakes and candies? Joyously they rushed up to the house and began to eat whatever they could break off. But at that moment an old woman appeared. She smiled in a kindly manner and invited Hansel and Gretel into the house for a proper meal. Such food they had to eat. The children ate until they could hold no more. Then the old woman tucked them tenderly into bed. And a tricky old woman, eh? I would say so. Now it so happened that this old woman was a witch, and she planned to fatten up Hansel and Gretel so that she might the next eat them. The next morning she awakened, and the children with a rough shake, and she dragged Hansel off to a cage and locked him up. She made Gretel do all the housework and cooking, kind of like Cinderella. Poor Gretel wept, but it was no use. Each day the best food she cooked was served to Hansel, because the old witch decided she wanted him nice and fat before she ate him. The children soon discovered that the old witch could not see very well. Each time she came to Hansel's cage, she demanded to feel his finger so that she could tell how fat he was getting. Hansel held out a skinny little bone, and the witch, thinking it was his finger, would go away, saying, "I'll wait a few more days. He is still much too thin." But at last she could wait no longer. She ordered Gretel to make the fire good and hot, so that she could prepare her feast. Oh boy, she's got something up her sleeve, eh? Yeah. With the heart, the little girl started a hot fire in the stove. Then the witch bustled into the kitchen, demanding to know how the fire was coming. "I cannot tell," said Gretel. I have never made such a fire." "Out of my way, foolish girl," said the witch. "I will see for myself." And she flung open the door and bent down to look. In an instant, Gretel gave the wicked witch a push. Into the fire she tumbled, and Gretel shut the heavy door upon her. Then the children ran to free her. Oh, what a time they had going through the witch's house! Everywhere they found chests of jewels and bags of gold. So she was rich indeed, not only a house of candy. Why, yeah. After stuffing their pockets with all that they could hold, the children fled forever from the house of the wicked witch. They presently came to a great lake, and seeing no way to cross, the children despaired of ever getting home. But soon a white swan appeared, and he offered to carry them across the lake on his back. When they arrived on the other shore, who should be cutting wood but their father? He was overjoyed to see his beloved children again, and the children had no lost time in showing him the treasures they had brought from the witch's house. After thanking the swan for his help, Hansel and Gretel and the woodchopper returned to live happily once more in their cottage in the woods. The end. But you know what? That was a good story, but whatever happened to his wife? Maybe she stayed or maybe she left. Who knows? Anyways, if you have any more information about this wonderful book, leave us a comment on the video and we'll respond to you as soon as possible. And with all that talk of sweets, this calls for a special song that we like to share regarding into some edible sweet things to eat. So here we go. Feel free to sing along, because we are ready. Hit it. If all the raindrops were then the drops of gumdrops, oh what a rain that would be. Standing outside with my mouth open wide. If all the raindrops were then the drops of gumdrops, oh what a rain that would be. Now, imagine if candy bars or milkshakes came out of the sky. If all the snowflakes were candy bars and milkshakes, oh what a snow that would be. Standing outside with my mouth open wide. If all the snowflakes were candy bars and milkshakes, oh what a snow that would be. Let's see, what else is yummy? Oh, I know. How about bubblegum and ice cream? Yeah. If all the sun is bubblegum and ice cream, Oh, what a song that would be. Standing outside with my mouth open wide. If I was underneath the bubble gum and ice cream, oh, what a song that would be. Beautiful job, everyone. Just beautiful. You all were great singers. And stay tuned for more videos coming up really soon. Really soon. Peace out. Have a good night. Take care. Say goodbye, Brian. Goodbye. I just kidding. I had a great time with you, Beast. Me too, buddy. Me too. See you on the next video. Bye bye. See you later.